Oh, brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Well done. Thank you for turning up. This is fabulous. Thank you very much indeed. My name is Mark Thomas and welcome to our stand-up show for LGBT rights. And thank you very much for coming along. We have got fantastic bill for you today. There we are. We're back. That's fantastic. As you can see, we are powered. A little harder. You're just going to have to slightly a little harder. Have we got any?
Sounds like a connection issue.
Is it a connection? Yeah. It's a power. Oh, no, we're back. We just have to. No. There we are. Hopefully, no. This is the most fantastic form of heckling. It's like being heckled by electricity. Hopefully, though, I'll just shout until we get it back. And hopefully the bicycles will be able to generate this in a minute. As you can see, we are powered, hopefully, by bicycles, so even our cycles are by today, and that's very, very important. What you've got when they're ready, they're searching. I'll tell you, I'll just start. You all know why we're here. We're here because that actually human rights count. Because human rights are important and because they affect all of us and they are universal. They apply to everyone. And I am someone who was brought up in the 80s, and that's when I cut my political teeth, and that's when I learned that the slogan that means most is an injury to one is an injury to all, and all of us have to fight for each other's human rights. Yeah. Thank you. The cyclists are now looking relieved. The burden of the gig was on their shoulders for a moment there. I'm going to quickly tell you a couple of gags, and then we're going to introduce the lineup. We've got an amazing bill for you. We've got Susan Cameron, we've got Joe Lycett, we've got Dana Alexander, we've got Zoe Lyons, we've got Stephen K. Amos, we've got Chris Coltrane, we've got speakers from Equality Network, and then it all finishes in some kind of match, possibly naked action. Almost. For those of you who can hear me, this is, I did a book, I went round Britain a few years ago asking people to come up with policies to make the world a better place, and each night the audience would put in policies and we would discuss the policies, we would vote on the policies, and we'd try and find policies to improve our lives. And one of the great things, you would often find that there was a link between the place that you were working at and the ideas that they voted for the manifesto. In Leicester, they voted their favourite policy that all future monarchs should be buried in secret and at random in car parks. In Hull, they voted, and you could hear the northern contempt dripping from every word. The whole policy was, it should be legal for us to take fashion designers outside and bash them into the shape they think we're in. We had, in Glasgow, the policy was bacon free on prescription. Rolling back the boundaries of preconception and stereotypes. In Edinburgh, the policy that they voted for was for a money-back guarantee on strike action. So if you went on strike but lost, you'd get the money you would get had you gone into work. We've had lots of brilliant policies, some of them about politicians. There was one that Michael Gove shouldn't be able to abolish a qualification unless he's passed it first. There was another one that George Osborne drives the bus at 30 miles an hour. If Britain's credit rating goes below AA, the bus explodes. There was one for David Cameron, which was all future MPs should have a face that fits their head. There are lots and lots of lovely, beautiful, wonderful policies. In Crawley, 5 months ago, they voted to give the Isle of Wight to Argentina. So there's a whole range of policies that got voted on, and I'm pleased to say there was a massive amount that were about social justice. In Cardiff, they voted that anyone found guilty of a homophobic hate crime should serve their entire sentence in drag. We had a lovely policy that was voted for that all members of the British Nationalist Party, I think this applies to any variation of the EDL, should be forced to trace their family ancestry and publish it. Because I think one of the great things about living here is the fact that we are a mishmash of folk. Ever since these islands have emerged, people have come to it. We've had Celts, we've had Anglos, we've had Saxons, we've had Vikings, we've had Normans, we've had Romans. We have had every combination. The first black people came to this country with Roman legions. We are a multicultural nation. We are a hodgepodge nation, and much the better for it. So if you're going to come up with some crazed idea that there is, one, such a thing as the purity of British bloodline, and two, that this pure bloodline means you actually love the country more than anyone else, then you better be pure. Because a lot of these BNP, they come over here. One of my favourite, I'll tell you two of my favourites, and I'll get one of the woman who I'm in love with at the moment on stage for you. And you look rather, oh no, it's great, it's flirt action. One of my favourite ones was from North London, where they voted that all models should be chosen at random from the electoral register. And I love that idea because it completely rewrites our narrow-minded vision of eroticism and beauty. It means that actually, if you're an advertiser, you can't go, I want a skinny woman with big breasts. You have to say, I want a model. And we will say, we will get the electoral register and a massive tombola. And we will pick at random. Any one of us could be the model. I could be the model. And the people doing the modelling will be informed of their assignment the same way people get told about jury service. So I'll just get a little letter in the post and I'll be sitting there at breakfast going, bloody hell, I'm doing Calvin Klein tomorrow. One of my favourites, and it's always been one of my favourites, was, oh, there is actually a lovely one here, that says, this got voted, I forgot where it got voted on, but it said, all police officers should wear badges with I'm here to help. Which, I want to say, actually, this is, don't say this too loudly. I've never said this before. But thank you to the police officers for helping us facilitate this demo. Seriously, don't say I said that or I'll sue. I mean it. I was talking to one couple who's so nice. He was just so nice and pleasant. I was sitting there just thinking, well, there's the act gone down the drain. So, one of my favourite ones that we voted on, when it was voted on in 6 different places, was for equal marriage. That we should have equal marriage, and I'm really proud of the fact that we now do have equal marriage. I know some people have always said, no, you can't have equal marriage, you can't have it. You can't have it, Mark, because it's unnatural. And to those people I say, no. I'll tell you what's unnatural. UHT milk. That's unnatural. 2 people loving each other is entirely natural. 3 even more so in South London. Some people go, no, Mark, we can't have equal marriage because it will undermine traditional marriage. And to those people I go, no, what undermines traditional marriage is married people shagging people they are not married to. And you cannot blame the gays for that without a very elaborate conspiracy theory and possibly state-of-the-art prosthetics. Some people say, no, Mark, we can't have equal marriage because God forbids it. And they will quote Leviticus. And the section they'll quote is Leviticus 20, chapter 20, verse 13, which says, if a man lies with the man as with a woman, both of them shall have committed an abomination. Leviticus 20, verse 13. If a man, quite obvious, God does not like gays. If a man lies with, obviously this applies to gay men, lesbians, you're in the clear. That's your Bible, that's your rule book, that's your instruction manual, that's what you believe. However, Leviticus also says that any woman menstruating should be kept separate for 7 days. And on the 8th day she shall cleanse herself by sacrificing 2 pigeons. Leviticus 15 verse 29. 2 pigeons, very specific, not 1, not 3, and it's a pigeon, not a chicken, not a hen, it's not a swan if you're the queen, I've just come off, will you burn it? You know, it's not... The pigeons will be killed by a priest who shall wring their necks at the altar and then burn the featherless fowl at the east side of the altar, not the south, not the north, not the west, not mass great pillar fight, no. Burning the fowl at the east side of the altar. Very, very, very clear. Despite these clear instructions, I have yet to find people campaigning for free pigeons with every box of Tampax. If you want to follow the Bible, your church should smell like a grease fire in Nando's. Now, we have got an amazing bill for you today, and I want you to clap and welcome and cheer every performer who comes up here. And we're going to start with the most wonderful, you're just too gorgeous, too gorgeous. Please welcome the wonderful Susan Cowman.